Rightio, hello everyone. So we've got Thursday today, the 15th, and this is gold. And I said it was probably coming, okay? Because it's the same setup as we had with gold, descending triangle, and I did say we've got room to break this down, okay? Now, how could you have known that as well? When you can see this kind of an attitude here in the market, I'll tell you what it is. As you can see, the market at the trading hours isn't going much up. It's just like sticking around. It's very sluggish, okay? And this should tell us like, okay, we're going to go, probably the other way because it's pretty sluggish. You don't see this push up that's motivating the market to come back down, to go higher, and, there's no push. So, but this was expected, okay? So this isn't a surprise for us. I did say we have to be extra careful. Yes, they are swing days, but we are expecting a break down, okay? So this is all logical. Where are we going down to? Well, you can see we've got 3,051 here, and in fact, maybe even more. So could gold come all the way back down? Well, it can. Why shouldn't it? And initially, we've got this one here, 3,120 to 24 because of the weekly, remember? Okay, so that's the weekly market just coming down and it's all good. So getting back into this body here, okay, between 3,017 and 76 or 17 and 80 is logical. How to sell it off again? Well, we can sell it off at a good buy kiss, which is 3,210. Okay, so if I get rid of that, that's your zone. Now this is broken, so we've got a breaker. If we go back up into a good buy kiss, you want to sell it off 43, 3,205 and 210 here. So 3,205 and 210 here. Right, so if we go back up, selling is okay. Now, I don't see the market really changing anything until we get to this 9 o'clock, okay? So we might have, if we end up somewhere down at 9 o'clock to 10:15, then we can see a bit of a reversal. That reversal should take us all the way into 1 o'clock. And if we get into that 1 o'clock, then we have to be careful because after 1, we're either going to break or turn around. So we've got to be careful there. And if that eventuates, we're going to have some excitement, volatility in New York until 5:30. If we find direction after that hour, after 5:30, if we find a direction, that direction should continue until 10:20. It should keep pushing until 10:20 and possibly until 11:30 as well. Okay, so we can keep following it until closing if that will be the case. Okay, so you can wait for those hours, see how things are panning out, and then direct yourself accordingly. Okay, this is for everything. Okay, this is for all the hours. Now, with gold, that's it. We just have to sit tight now. We don't have a swing day. All right, so the swing days turned into a breakout. Okay, which is fine, which is what we were expecting. Okay, so all you can do now is just sit tight. If it goes up, you can sell again. If it keeps pushing down, that's also expected. So the market might go side, and then dip down again. That could also happen. And if you want to sell off again at the hours to push down from the red, the purple, the daily pivot, you want to push it down again with timing. You could do that too. All right. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, remember I had an open trade on yesterday, which was here. And I said in the video for yesterday that from 9:15 until, 10:15 until 11:30. I was expecting the market to make a sudden move, like a good push, and that 10:15 was an important time period. That was going to determine it. Okay, so that's 10:15. So once 10:15 is over, as you can see here, that's the 10 o'clock. That's the 10:15 there. Once 10:15 was over, as you can see, we had a breakout going all the way into that zone. Now remember, I did say this zone has got a target, and in fact I had a target just below the weekly. But when the market came here, I checked the daily chart at 11:30 and saw that we tapped into the 37.5, and it wasn't a trading hour then. Okay, this 11:30 was like volatility movement. So if I got rid of that, that's your trading hours there. So anybody sold the top at the trading hours did good. It came down all the way, as you can see, into the closing and these trading hours. And we talked about these trading hours, remember? All the way into, I said maybe closing, yeah? Yeah, that's right. 9:10 into closing. That's your 9:10, and your closing is pretty much there, okay? Sizzling all the way in there. So once again, if we go up into this zone, to sell is okay at the trading hours. All right, so you might want to wait for London, because Thursday's got London hours happening. Okay, let's take a look at SP 500. Now I like this, okay, with the SP 500. Why do I like it? Because we had Monday and Tuesday and we tapped into here. Let's get rid of this. Okay, that's the cause of the breakout, okay? And that's how it is. The reason I took that bar is because the bar hadn't closed. You see, that's the breakout here, but that's the swing, and the market only closed under it on that bar. So I took that for a cause, okay? And the market Monday, Tuesday ended up on this bar here. Maybe, yeah, well, that's a good buy kiss on the weekly as well. All right, so now what? Well, we don't have a swing day today on SP 500, but NASDAQ and Dow Jones we do. All right, so selling off, could that be the way to go? All right. Now the trade hours for today, I've already marked them in. So the market's already at these high levels. You can see if they're going to sell off, they're going to sell off. Now Tuesday was the high of the week. If that remains, this should sell off. If it sells off, we should be coming downtown. Okay. And that will prove that Tuesday was the swing day. Ta-da. Okay. And if that's the case, we should fall all the way back down to Timbuktu. So you can target the daily. 63.61, 5,800. 5,800 is there. That's one target. And you got the 61 there. 5781. So 57. This is going to be your target zone for the daily. All right. Now for the weekly, 49,567.0, which we already have here. I can get rid of that. We've got two levels to sell off into, there and there. Now, It's not a trading hour for today yet, but 9:29 off yesterday was a beautiful hour for those who are trading this. Okay, now obviously 9 p.m. my time, but this was a nice zone because this was like game over. Okay, and also 10 past 11, which is right there, bloody hell. It's just amazing, this astrological stuff. Anyway, these cycles are really nice to measure out. So basically, you can just follow this down even and become even Steven, I guess, and just follow it down here, because this is bound to kind of like break it down. Okay, and that's how it is. So yeah, basically, because we're at the tops, selling is okay. I just want to check the news. Rightio. Now we've got news coming out. From what I can see, we're going to have excitement in the news. And then Powell's going to talk. When Powell's talking, it looks like his chit-chat is going to be disruptive. Okay? And the news is not going to be good for the traders. So when he talks at 5:40, his chit-chat is not going to be taken well. It's going to be considered like negative. Okay? That should then, trigger the market to move. And that move, like I said, should go into the evening my time, which is going to be closing market hours in New York. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so that's nice and easy. And that's basically it. But the market should, if you want to, let's just do this. I want to just put the price tab on this LCL, 15922. 5922. Just keep it in mind, if you're going to have a stop loss and the market is up somewhere, it should be above 5922. So if the market is up and you want to sell down at trading hours, you can. If the market breaks down, comes back up to test the red line daily pivot opening to sell down again at the trading hour, you can do that. Okay, let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Dow Jones got Thursday, NASDAQ's got Thursday. So those are all happening. We have 2 days back to back on those two indices. Okay, so yeah, so Thursday looks like we're like sizzling down. Okay, so as you can see, this is all good. Any pull up you want to be selling off. Yep. So this has probably got more room to come down into the swing day. So if you're trading Dow, you want to be going into 53.51 today, which is going to be 41,497,237. 41 497 there. So we've got room to come down, guys, all the way, in fact, because of the gap. So yeah, go for it by all means. Okay, in fact, we can take that SP 500, I'm thinking, because the market shouldn't change. Let's do a trade on SP 500, because the indices could give us a good return today. Let's do it. And the reason I'm doing it is, if you ask why, because of those two things coming in from Wednesday night. Here. Okay, so if I decide to take a trade, let's do it. So I'm going to do that, and let's in fact stop loss there, and the target is there. All right, got two positions open as usual. Let's do it. Right, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to cover the risk on that one. That's 167, so I want to do 170 there, which is about there, I guess. Yep, so that's going to cover me if things go in my direction. Okay, now because there are no gaps here, okay, and Monday, Tuesday was a swing day. Tuesday made a market high, okay. So if we get stopped out, it's going to be unfortunate. The second option is if we want to sell again, we can sell the high, which is the daily LCL1 line there, okay. And that's how it is. Oops. And that's how it is. Now today, 10:15 is going to be the zone. So when you are opening this video, you're going to miss this, which is fine. No need to be worried about it, because you will have an opportunity here. And if you are trading the New York session, you will again get an opportunity. And if you're in the London session, you will as well, because London's going to give you 1 o'clock. And New York is going to give you 3:45, which is, coincidentally, it's a good thing we looked up here, is right after the news. Right, so all this news is going to come out. And when the news comes out, it's going to be energetic news, okay? And so that news is going to be like exciting. Okay, there's going to be volatility there. That's what I'm talking about. And then when that happens, it should push us into 345, which is there. So that's going to be a 345 there. All right. And that will then lead to the Fed talking. And he's going to say something, in my opinion, it's just, it's not going to be perceived well. And that should push us into a surprise move, okay, into 530. So we should get a surprise move, a volatility into 530. Once that volatility into 530 does happen, then that should continue until $10.20. 10.20 to closing. And your closing is there. All right. Okay, we'll see how this pans out then, yeah? Nice and easy. Okay, you can wait for the New York session. The only reason I took that out is because this period was good, okay, for a reversal to happen, okay? So selling under that zone is fine. But you guys will see that later on. You can wait for London and New York, no problemo at all, okay? So we'll see how things pan out. Now with Dow Jones, same kind of thing. Like I said, you can wait for the news and take it from there. If you're worried about it because of the volatility, and that's fine, then like I said, once the market finds direction, like after 450 towards 5 to 530. Once it finds direction, that direction should hold. Okay, so this can also come up a little bit to sell off into the red line, into the daily pivot. You see there are no gaps here. They've closed them all. Okay, so Thursday, Friday for Dow and Nasdaq can be a pushy into gap closure, which is what we'd like to see. Nasdaq. With Nasdaq, remember we've got Thursday, Friday as well, so this could be today or tomorrow. Both with the Dow as well. Dow sizzled down nicely. Nasdaq seems to be holding up, but it should push down as well. Now Nasdaq is like on steroids, so you got to be a bit, careful with this one. Plus the gaps. Okay, so it's a good buy kiss. You might want to wait for a reaction on this one. Okay. Yeah, you might want to wait for a reaction and see how things pan out. Okay. There you go. Maybe a bit of a gap closure on there. Maybe a bit of a gap closure there. At the end of the day, I'd say it's a sell zone. All right, so selling again is an option. There's a support level here at LCL1, which is 21,203. 21,203. That's going to be the first support of the day. There, all right, as you can see, the market got support from there. So if this breaks, which it should do, then we should pop down. Okay. Bitcoin. So accordingly, that's what I'm thinking. And, like I said, the news should be, probably the news is going to be felt negatively. Now, this is nice to see Bitcoin. Remember, we had a Wednesday. So I did say selling this zone is the way to go. Okay. And these are the highs. And these are the highs from last week too. Remember, we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. Today is a Thursday. So we want to see this baby down. And we're breaking down. So I did say as well yesterday, look, if I was to trade this, I would be selling the highs. Because this is a sell zone. So anybody buying the all-time highs is just not a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea anyway. All right, so this has got room to come down, I'm telling you, all the way back down to here and possibly even down to there. We'll see how things pan out, because at the end of the day, this is now a sideways market. So coming all the way at least back into 75 is an option here, and sell the highs is what I always say. So we're not going to do anything different than what we do with our technical analysis. So if you want to sell it off, you can push it down. Okay, at the trading hours, once the market breaks the lows, starts breaking the lows on pullbacks, you can sell. You can sell on the daily opening, closing price here. You see the opening, closing, daily pivot. So any up move, push down is okay at trading hours.